Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to more RHEM 2. In the last video, we made a lot of progress with this underground railway section, but now, we're going to turn our attention elsewhere and take a break from that. We're going to go to the Green Tower, because we've got some clues that we've been collecting that we can follow up on in there now. Namely, the ones that have to do with the simulation, math, diagram, etc. puzzle. So, to recap, let me just explain what we've got going on. The symbols on the wall that's opposite the simulation thingy, those are supposed to correspond with pieces of the track that we can layer in the simulation. The order of the symbols we found over in the area outside the foyer building. Now, in placing the track, we can therefore come up with values within that 3x3 grid inside the larger 5x5 grid to be used at the very beginning of the math diagram. And then the math diagram can ultimately be used to come up with a solution to solve for the numbers that represent the symbols we saw a couple of stations back, the cushion, the cross, and the star. So, in other words, we use this to solve this, and we use this to solve this, and we use this to solve the thing a couple of stations ago. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. Now, I didn't point this out before, but you see how there's no symbols here? Yeah, we can't place anything in the corners. I should have mentioned that, but anyway. I'm going to go ahead and just place these in here so we can complete this. And sure enough, these are not at all straight lines. They're zigging and zagging all over the place. So it is a good thing that we got those pieces. But anyway, we're here to layer the track, and the order that we found outside the foyer is meant to help with that. Now, I'm not going to bore you by actually going back and forth and looking at this and looking at that. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what the order is. And there are some of these symbols that appear twice, which indicate that there is supposed to be a cross placed here when it comes to this 3x3 grid area. So, when it comes to these double curve things, the best strategy to use for these is just to see like which one is next in the sequence. That way you know that this connects to this, and you'll look forward to this thing being used later. But yeah, like this one right here, this symbol appears twice in the sequence, so that's your cue that you're supposed to use a cross there. And thankfully the edges are pretty self-explanatory because you don't really dead end anywhere except at the very beginning and the very end, which you can see right here, so that's pretty nice. So like here, that has to be a curve, because anything else would just lead to a dead end. Or it has to be a curve that goes down. Let's see, and this goes around like in a loop like that, and we make another loop like this, and there we go. And we get a nice noise there. So yeah, this is not really meant to be like a puzzle that unlocks something. It just gives you the solution for something else, which is why it says simulation. I think if you change this, yeah, it just gives you a bad noise. But we've now got the various track pieces that we need to substitute the numbers that we need for the math diagram. Because remember, a couple of stations back, we had the clue that indicated which symbols correspond with which numbers. Now you remember that the cross was 1 beep, so that means that it's number 1. The top right and the bottom left, this one right here, curved thing, was 2 beeps, and the top left and the bottom right was 3 beeps. So in other words, I'm going to just rotate this using our handy dandy button here. Here's what I got for the math diagram. We'll go ahead and solve this here. We got 1, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, and 2. And we need to perform all these various operations here to get the diamond things. So if we were to multiply all this, 1 times 3 times 3 equals 9, 2 times 3 times 2 equals 12, and 1 times 1 times 2 equals 2. And then addition going down is 1 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 4, 3 plus 3 plus 1, which equals 7, and 3 plus 2 plus 2, which also equals 7. So in other words, the diamond values going down are 9, 12, and 2, and going across from left to right are 4, 7, and 7. So by tracing all of this around, we then end up down here where we substitute the diamond values into these diamond spots. 12 goes here, 4 goes there, 9 goes here, 7 goes here, 7 goes here, and 2 goes there. I'm not going to bother tracing all these lines, you guys can see that. So 12 minus 4 equals 8, which we plug into the circle spot. 9 minus 7 equals 2, right there in that circle spot. And 7 minus 2 equals 5. And right here we need to perform addition downwards for these diamonds. So for this column we got 12 plus 9 plus 7, which equals 28, and 4 plus 7 plus 2, which equals 13. Then we transpose those circle values into these circle values, which then lead to these octagon values. So let's do these. This is 28, 8, and 13, and we subtract all those, so we get 7 to go into that octagon. And then we get 5 and 2 for these spots, so 13 minus 5 equals 8, and 5 minus 2 equals 3. And these are ultimately the values that get plugged in to represent these symbols here. 7 is the answer to the cushion, 3 is for the star, and 8 is for the cross. Whew, that was a lot of math. Alright, well let's go ahead and go back around. We're going to need to travel back a few stations here so we can get to the lock where we can place all the values. And I think it's either 1 or 2 more ahead. If it's 2 more ahead, then the entire walk was 1 station back, not 2, as I said earlier. Okay, it is 1 more, so yeah, it was just 1 station behind us, actually. My bad. Okay, so let's get to work. We have got cushion equals 7. The cross is 8. And the star is 3. And voila, we've got a new area. Welcome to the Glass Maze. This is arguably the hardest thing in this entire game. It is brutal, it is ruthless, and it is incredibly confusing, but it can be solved with plain and simple logic. Now, let's just take a look around first before we get started. We've got a map here, which is very helpful, by the way, and it shows us where we are. It shows us some kind of symbol here that looks like a kind of skip button on a VCR or CD player. And we've got various doorways that are either grayed out or colored. Interesting. Well, it looks like we might have to get to some of these as objectives, so let's keep that in mind. This seems to be the button that corresponded with the similar symbol on the map, and actually this is a reset button that sets everything in this maze back to the way it was originally in case you ever want to start over. Which, if you're doing this blind, can be quite a lot. Now I'm just going to look around here first before we actually get started. Looks like we got another one of these Plinko clues here for the second endpoint. Red 9, blue 22, and green 3. And we've got some sort of combination lock here, which was for the room that seems to be the aqua one on the map. With the doorway that had that color. These don't seem to work. How about that? This one we hold down. Okay, so we have to activate this by pressing that, and probably end this by pressing this. Yeah. We don't really know what the combination is, but we'll come back and check that out later on. It kind of is similar to that 2x2 lock that was in the Blue Grotto. But one of the things that's challenging about this maze is that you have a lot of these sorts of situations where there's an airlock. You open up one door and you close another one. This is pretty much why this maze is really complex. And the nice thing about it, though, is that you can actually see here where most of these doors pair up. Like, these are paired up, these are, you know, and so forth. So it does help quite a bit, but it is still a monster challenge nonetheless. So I'm going to pretty much try to go through this using the optimal routes. I'll try to explain where I am as I'm going through it, and I'll use the rows of rooms here as reference. So in other words, if I ever say I'm in row 3, room 2, I'm referring to this room right here. Just remember there are 5 different rows of rooms, there are 4 different columns of rooms, and all in all, there are 20 total, and the southmost row is row 5, and the northmost row is row 1. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try to get to the last room in row 1 first that we were just looking at, so that's my first objective. And in doing so, I'm going to try to find the combination somewhere around here. So I'm going to go here, and this, by the way, is where the compass really comes in handy. Okay, so right now I'm in row 4, room 2. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to slip over here for now. Wait a minute. Yeah, here we go. Close this and open that other one over there. Alright, now I'm going to go along the bottom edge of the maze. And we got a big arrow there, which we saw on the map. And there's also some kind of vent or something there, as well as another Plinko clue. Ah, there's a vent we can crawl through, but I'm going to wait to do that until later after we're done here. I don't want to leave this area just yet. Well, I can grab this, but it doesn't do anything. I guess this is just supposed to mainly tell you that, you know, this is an objective. And the door here even indicates as such. Alright, so from here, I'm going to snake around this way, because remember, we opened this door earlier by virtue of closing this one. And I'm going to go up over here. Alright, we're back again in row 4, room 2. And I'm going to go ahead and switch this back to its original position. Now, I'm going to go through here to row 4, room 3, if the game doesn't stop lagging and freezing up on me here. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now I'm going to return back to the starting area. Not quite to the very beginning, but to this door, because we opened this one earlier by closing this one. Wait a minute. This is the one I meant to close. Okay, now I'm going to go through here. And we can finally get through this door. Well, there's really no indication of what the combination might be, but we get a clue for something else here that shows a left arrow thing, a straight line, a left arrow, a right arrow. Okay. Of course, that doesn't work. But we made it over here to the second row, room 1, so that's nice. Let's see what's ahead over here in the very top left corner room. We got a view into a completely different area that's not made out of glass, so that's cool. Let's see, I'm not going to worry about that yet. I'm going to open this up. But hey, what's this right here? We've got some kind of clue about something here. This seems to be the exact same set of shapes that we saw on that lock up ahead that leads into the last room on row 1. Well, this wasn't closed before, so I wonder if there's something on the reverse side of this. So I'm going to actually go back and backtrack over to that room where we were, that's directly to the left of the room we're trying to get to, the third room in row 1. I know I'm sounding really confusing here, so I'm sorry about that. Let me just make sure I'm getting my bearings here. We're in row 2, room 1, so I'm going to go east. Over there. zigzag through this, and we should be back in row 3, room 1. Here we go. Alright, so this is the lock sequence. We press this 2 times, this, then this, and then this 2 times. Alright, completely new area. Let's see what we've got here. We got some kind of spider web drawing there, as well as something that turns this whole thingy around. Well, that's cool. Don't know what we can use this for yet, but let's see what we've got. We've got some sort of combination lock. This kind of looks like the same sort of interface that was down the blue grotto, albeit with different symbols. And over here, we've got some kind of drawing here that shows those same symbols around one of the tangled web things. Well, let's go ahead and turn this around. It seems like that button displays some kind of light sequence here, but we want to make sure this is set to the right one. And I think that is the right one. Yeah. So let's see what the sequence of lights is for this. Okay, up there, then there. Alright, and those light positions can correspond with where these various symbols are, which should give us an order to use for this doodad right here. And that order is as follows. There we go. So what did that do? Ah, here we go. This looks like the sort of thing that we need to plug into that thing at the end of the hallway in the blue tower on the top floor. Well, that's cool. So right now what I'm going to do is I am going to try to get to that last room on row 3. So let's see. Right now I'm going to go back to row 4, room 2 again. Is that where I am? No, it's not. It's this way. Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't want to go that way. I want to keep that open. I want to go down, then through this snaky passage that we built here. Because right now I want to close this door. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. Not that door. Is it this door that I need to... Wait a minute. Yeah, I believe it's this that I need to press. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I got a little confused there for a minute. Alright, let's go down this way. And I'm going to turn right. We're now in row 3, room 2, I believe. Then we'll go back through here. Down this way. And around this edge area. This time we're going to close this so we can open up that door that ultimately leads into that area that we want to get to. I keep saying the word ultimately. I know you guys are probably really tired of that. Alright, I'm going to go all the way up here again to row 2, room 1. And we should be able to just open this. Wait a minute, not that one. This is what I want to do. I want to do this first. And then I'm going to close this to open this so we can carve a path out here. There we go. And then I'll just snake around using this pathway that we just built. There we go. Awesome. Okay, and so right here we've got something that apparently we can't interact with. Ah, here we are. And it seems like this is what we need to use. That clue that was by the second row room 1 door. These have the various arrows as well as straight lines. So let's see here. For the west side, I'm going to do the straight line and the east arrow. And then for these two, I'm going to plug in both west arrows. Now, this doesn't really do anything, but since it's right by that door, I'm willing to bet that it actually unlocks it. So let's go ahead and head back that way. And this is just a simple matter of zigzagging. Awesome, there we are. Okay, so now we can finally explore this bricked area that we were looking at from this little barred window. And we have conquered the glass maze. Yay! It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. I mean, I was seriously dreading this part of the LP because I didn't know whether I'd be able to pull that off. But thankfully I've got a pretty good solution to reference, so that was nice. But what have we got here? Lasers? They made a sound of some sort. Interesting. Well, they make a sound, and there's also letters written on the wall. We've got H there, we've got, looking up north, we've got C right there. We've got, let's see, on this one we got U, and L, N, X, and Z. Well, that's all cool, but what does this all mean? Looks like we need to get inside that. What does this do? Well, it turns that clock hand all over the place. And hey, it opened up the cabinet there. Oh. Well, that wasn't cool. Let's try that again. It seems like the order is different this time around. So, maybe it's random? And it seems to end on this one at 12 o'clock. Let's see what happens if we try something different. I'm just walking through all these because it seems like the right thing to do, right? There's an order to walk through these in. But it ultimately was fruitless. Okay, so what's really going on here? Let's be serious now. Well, you might remember way back when we were in the foyer, when we first visited it, that we saw that hallway that had symbols on the left side that connected 4 edges of a square, or 4 corners. I keep saying edges for some reason, corners of a square. And then opposite that wall, we had letters that seemed to indicate that those 4 corner combinations corresponded with the letters. Then when we were exploring the rotating hut area down in the Underground Railway later on, we saw a room where we were able to correspond or make a connection between the various 4 corner configurations as well as clock positions. And this is what we need to use for this puzzle. Notice that each of these doorways has a letter associated with it. Now, whenever we get this combination that's randomly assigned to us, we get various clock positions. We then need to use the clock positions and their correspondence with the various four-corner, there we go, positions, and then the various four-corner positions correspondence with the letters to come up with the order through which we need to walk through the doorways. Now, notice that C, or in other words 12 o'clock, was the last one in both of these tests that we ran. And that's because it needs to be the last one, since that's where our goal is. So let's get a combination going here. I'm going to go ahead and just write it down here in my notes. Looks like that was 2, or no, that was 1. 1, 2, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and finally 12 o'clock. Now the nice thing about this puzzle is that we don't even need to worry about using the clock positions down here. We just need to worry about going from 9 to 3. So let's make sure that we've got our letters and numbers straight here. 1 o'clock is equivalent to L, which is the second door on this side. 2 is equivalent to N, which is the second door on this side. 3 is U, which is the first door on this side, which is the one right next to us here. 9 equals X, which is the third door on this side going this way. 10 equals Z, which is the third door on this side going down. 11 equals H, which is this, the first one on this side. And finally 12 equals C. So let me just go ahead and write down all the letters so I've got them here. Let's see. 11 equals H. 9 equals X. 10 equals Z. 3 equals U. And finally 12 equals C. So we need to walk through all 7 of them. Let's see, L is this one, and we can access everything from in here without walking through any lasers, so that's good. Let's go around to N, and remember, you can't go through one more than once. And then let's go up to U, and then all the way around to X. Oh wait, X is... my bad. It's the one on this side. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I was referencing the wrong pair of notes here. Okay, I completely got the order wrong already. Well, so much for that. Let me go ahead and just reset this. Sorry, let's see here. Press this again. 10 o'clock, which is Z, 1 o'clock, which is L, 3, which is U, 11, which is H, 2, which is N, 9, which is X, and of course 12, which is C. Okay, let's do this again. I'm sorry about that. My brain is not entirely here today. So 10 is Z. That is the last one down this way. Okay, 1 is L, which is the second one down over here. Okay, and then 3 is U, which is the first one this direction. Then H, which is 11, is all the way around to the other side. I think this is the last one. Okay, and then we get N, which is just right around the corner. And then X down over here, last one on this column. And then C. I think I got this right. We did! Alright, we've solved the light barrier puzzle. Now, there's one other thing that we haven't quite followed up on in the glass maze. We may have conquered it, but there's still one thing that we haven't really seen quite yet. And that is that vent that we passed by. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to here. And remember, we're in the second room, or the first room on the second row. So I am going to go down through the edge area here. I don't think that was right. It's this way. And to this spot. And I'm going to go ahead and see what's in here. We haven't checked this out yet. You know, I kind of got the feeling at first that we were not supposed to be in here just because, you know, you wouldn't think that you're supposed to go through vents. But with this button and stuff here, and some kind of transport coming toward us, I kind of have to assume that this is part of the design. Well, we can only turn 180 degrees, so let's go ahead and go forward. Alright, where are we exactly? We got a pipe down there, but I get the impression that we won't be coming back if we were to go down that. Oh, we got some kind of combination lock here. We got a letter, and then we've got a number. Strangely enough, there's no I in this whole thing. I guess because I might be confused with 1. Well, we'll have to come back once we know what the combination is. Let's just head back for now. Hey, there is the combination right there. F9. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and head back. Okay, let's see where this leads. Didn't mean to do that. It's kind of a little weird. The ladder just opened up there. And hey, we're overlooking the elevator cavern, so we must be pretty close to the beginning. And there's another symbol down there. It looks kind of like somebody took a bite out of a donut or something. And it looks like we provided power, probably to that door that we couldn't go through earlier when we passed by that one exit out of the A elevator. But hey, we got a green light and a positive sounding bell noise, so that's always good. Well, right now we don't really have anywhere else to go, so I'm going to actually check out what's down that pipe. Thankfully that thing actually closes, otherwise we'd have to rely on a lot of upper body strength to get up that ladder. So where does this end? Well, if you think all the way back to the very beginning, you might know. Yep, we're back in the hydroelectric plant area. Sweet. But why did we come down here exactly? Well, I did this intentionally because we can actually follow up with something in the Green Tower that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise if there wasn't a way back here. And I also want to check out that whole door that we just opened up in the elevator cavern as well. But remember, we took that tram all the way around the railway in there, you know, the circular rail system, to even get to the glass maze in the first place. So now that it's gone, we might be able to see what's under it, if anything's even hidden there. But we're going to do that in the next video, so until next time guys, thank you guys for watching. It has been a blast as usual. Sorry if I kind of brain farted today, I know it's been kind of a little bit of a weird, stumbly video, but I hope it's been fun to watch nonetheless. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, because it really does help a lot. thank you guys again. I really do enjoy making these for you guys. I do enjoy hearing from y'all, and I will see you on the flip side. So take care, and I will catch you then.